Hello, chatters. How we doing? You may notice that technically on the schedule we're supposed to play Subnautica, but literally ever since I had Subnautica scheduled for this day, I haven't done that, so. Deltarune! We got a couple things to talk about today. Today's, like, intro period before we actually get to Deltarune is gonna be on the longer side. Because we're actually gonna be doing something else before we get to the whole Deltarune part. Real quick, I just want to get that set up though. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna fully be doing something before we get to the whole Deltarune part. I don't even have Steam open. Let me at least get Steam open. Power Wash Simulator VR? Oh, sure. You know what? Don't see why not. Of course that's an option. But, as you may notice in the stream title, we've got plus, I think it's plus, newsletter. Because there's a newsletter. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna read it. I've already read it, but we're gonna reread it, and I'm gonna think about it some more. Yeah, it is plus newsletter. Yeah, there's a newsletter. There's a summer newsletter. And we're gonna take a look. We're gonna take a look-see at it. Okay, yeah, that's working. Yeah, we're gonna have a look at it, the summer newsletter. Take a gander, if you will. And I'm gonna be. What the fuck was that? You know what? No, not my problem. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Literally, I only know that this is a thing because I hadn't gotten the email for it yet. I only know this is a thing because I saw Melon God post about it. So, you know, this isn't the first time that I've directly drawn inspiration. Why are frames dropping? Stop! Why am I getting added? What's happening today? I don't care about the Wordle Discord. I care about my frames. Come back. We were doing so good recently as a whole. What? Come back. 6.3%? This is unacceptable. I want my frames back. This is recorded. This is gonna be seen completely normally on the VOD. So hi VOD watchers. How you doing? You let me know in the comments. Yeah, I see the views. I know people watch these. I don't know to like what percentage. You know? I know it's not a lot. Really, I just want to talk about the newsletter and play some Deltarune. I don't know why it's being difficult. Oh, now the bitrate is too high. It went from too low to double what it... Whoa, it's climbing still. 21,000. 24,000. 29,000. Oh, we're down to 15. And 6, where it should be. Hey! Hi, chat. Don't mind that. You know what? Lag happens sometimes. Anyways, newsletter. Summer newsletter. We're gonna talk about the summer newsletter. We're gonna read it together. We're gonna look at all of the things, and it's gonna be a fun time. Okay, we're gonna have a fun time. We're gonna have a fun, good time here on stream today. Oh, let's just get into it. But yeah, see, it's the newsletter. We have one. It's real. I do think there's some exciting stuff in here, for sure. Because like I said, I have read through it already. I think we're gonna have a good time. Okay, no. Let me do that real quick. We're lagging again! Is today just one of those days? Today better not just be one of those days. Oh! Secret boss in Deltarune game. I'm trying to do a speed test on my phone with my fucking VPN on. I need to turn that off. Speed tests only work properly. Oh, welcome back. I'm trying to figure out why we're lagging. Download speed's fine, but that has nothing to do with what we're doing right now. Be a big shot. I mean, we're not lagging now, so the fucking upload is gonna be... Okay, upload is... I see. My dad was working when I was downstairs, and the upload speed is struggling. So we're just gonna go, and we're gonna hope that it works out. Anyways, summer newsletter. Summer. Can summer be over yet? Around a month ago, Deltarune Chapter 5 released. Did you notice? No. The music is playing twice. Using a browser while streaming. I'm constantly... Where do you think the music comes from? What? What? Where do you... The munches down on stream... No. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Considering that I constantly have a browser open. That's where the music comes from. That's where the music comes from, chat. And where my stream manager is. So no, this isn't new. We always have a browser open. Anyways, did we notice? Not at all. I'm pleased with the response to Chapter 5. Many friends told me they loved it, and some people even cried a bit. Dude, Chapter 7's gonna come and we're gonna be sobbing on stream. I just fucking know it. Everyone's experience may vary, but if the game resonated deeply with a few players, I feel confident I'm moving in the right direction. Yeah, yeah, there's Chapter 5 spoilers here. Now that it's been a bit, I have a lot of info and concept art about Chapter 5 to share, so please click here to check it out. We do have that open. That is this. Which, do we want to take a look at the concept stuff and then finish the rest of the newsletter? Or do we want to finish the rest of the newsletter and then look at the concept stuff? Yes. I mean, we're going to look at the concept stuff either way. It's just, do we do it now or do we do it after the rest of the newsletter? Yeah, we're going to go through both of them. That's why I have them both open. Oh my god, he has a Christmas hat. Now? Okay. Awesome. Also, the fact this art is from 2019. That's crazy. But look at that. There is a lot of stuff in here. They're both, like, relatively long. Concept and gameplay. Before its release, I described Chapter 5 as a fun chapter. Hopefully everyone understands what I meant by that. Which is that it is fun. No. No, really? No, it was. It was fun. It was a fun chapter. I'm actually, like, genuinely, I'm so scared for where we go from here. Anyway, there aren't any more chapters where we focus on goofy, attention-hungry Darkner characters with the potential to win weird popularity contests. Oh no. Why are we referencing Tumblr Sexy Montana? No. But thinking about the structure of the story, I think it was the perfect spot to do it one more time. Even though it's only been 4 chapters since Chapter 1, I wanted Chapter 5 to feel like a mix of nostalgic fun mixed with new, unforeseen concepts. Music from Chapter 1 of Deltarune, characters that reference concepts from Undertale, etc. Which I think it does very well. I think a lot of people were, like, from what I've seen, negative reviews for Chapter 5, where people are like, ah, no, it sucks, is the whole, like, nostalgia concept. People don't like that very much, for whatever reason, but that's literally the whole point of the chapter, and I think it does it very well. I don't think it's a fault of the chapter. Also, welcome in. I loved the reference. Yeah, I thought it was really cool and interesting and fun. I think even with the fact that we were obviously referencing things, it still felt very new. And, like, there was a lot of, like, plenty of new things happening where people are like, ah, they're just recycling everything. Like, no. You don't have that nostalgia? Well, okay, so here's the thing that I see a lot of people try to argue as a reason that something like that Deltarune is bad, I guess is the best way I can put it. I don't think it's bad, obviously. But what I see a lot of the time where people try to be like, oh, Deltarune sucks. I see it all the time. Where they're talking about, it's like, oh, well, chat, look in my eyes. There is no Spotify ad. Fuck. Jingle, jingle, jingle. No Spotify ad. Jingle, jingle, jingle. There's no Spotify ad. Jingle, jingle. Look at me. Jingle, jingle, jingle. There's no Spotify ad. There is no Spotify ad in Ba Sing Se. Does this make up for the fact that the last stream there was no Spotify ad at all? Are we happy now? But there's no Spotify ad this time either. Jingle, 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 jingle. There's no Spotify ad. Never once has there ever. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingle, 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 jingle. No Spotify ad. Why is it 3? Jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingle, There's no Spotify ad. I don't know what you're talking about. You look at my jingle, jingle, jingle. Look at my eyes, chat. Look in my eyes. There is no Spotify ad. Don't look at the newsletter. You look at me. You look at me, chat. Jingle, jingle, jingle. No Spotify ad. There isn't a Spotify ad, okay? Yeah, you look at me. Anyway. Sorry for that little disruption there. But I see a lot of the time, especially, why hear Spotify? You didn't hear a Spotify ad. We're just listening to music. What are you talking about? So, like, I see a lot of people who will bring up, like, the idea of, and they're like, oh, but the casual players, especially with Weird Route theories, where people are like, oh, but the casual players, they're not going to understand this because they're not going to do the Weird Route. And it's like, well, have you considered the game isn't entirely built for casual players. The experience that we're having right now and experiencing the chapter by chapter release, I think, is a very important part of experiencing Deltarune. Including doing things and knowing about things like the Weird Route. The Weird Route wouldn't exist if it didn't serve a narrative purpose. And I've seen so many people where they're like, nope, there's nothing here. And it's like, the Genocide Route served a narrative purpose in Undertale. What about Toby Fox's writing says that there is no reason to do anything? Like, everything is intentional. He could have, you know, waited forever and released the entire game at once, but he didn't. So it is at the fault for newer players to not, like, experience that, but it's also just because they're just, by default, not getting the intended experience. Is just kind of my thought on it. As for new elements, this time we added a platforming system where you can jump around, attack, and act. It's a big thing. It's kind of bad that most people who play Deltarune, after all the chapters come out, they don't get that chapter release thing. Yeah, I think I don't think it's kind of bad. I don't think it'll inherently hurt anything. I think it can still be enjoyed that way all at once. But I do think it is, and you'll see what I mean in this newsletter. I don't remember if it's in the concept part or the newsletter itself, but you will see what I mean, because I would have said this regardless, but Toby Fox does directly say that there is something special that cannot be replicated about experiencing Deltarune right now. And that this moment in time where you have all of the content that people make about the game in between chapters, all of the theories, etc., everything is something that can never be replicated the second that Chapter 7 comes out. The second the game is over, you can never recapture the experience that is playing the game now. So there's a reason that I say that I think this experience is kind of a key part in playing and experiencing Deltarune. Is also just because the creator himself literally references it, calling it a special time and a special way to experience the game. Because there's never again will we get to you can even see it if you look back on fucking post chapter 1 theories, where it's kind of the dumbest shit you've ever laid your eyes on. But that was everything at the time. So I think it's all very important. You can even look at like device theory, where it was kind of absurd. And then look at the weird route now. Like, I don't necessarily think it's inherently super detrimental if you're not experiencing it in this way, but I do think it adds to the experience to be experiencing it actively. Just kind of how I see it. Development started, the platforming system, 2026. Development started in October 2021 with on and off programming by OnlyDev, creator of games such as Trace Bashers, I can't read. Eventually, towards the end of Chapter 4, other members of the team were then able to take Ondy's prototype and develop it further. We've got a couple of videos of this prototype that's referenced, which I think is really cool. Also, the placeholder enemies are kind of hilarious, because why are they just evil? Exactly. But yeah. As usual, we created tons and tons of prototypes. There were a few, sorry, I'm like merging the words together because I don't know how to read like a normal person. There are a few design challenges with using the platforming system. Feel quite happy about its implementation in the final game, but here are some things we had to be concerned about. Also, this one's a minute long, but look at this. Crazy. Can you imagine if we actually had to do this? Can you imagine watching me spend 15 minutes trying to get through this room? Yeah, we prototyped a platforming enemy for each flower color, but not all reused. Yeah, look at this. It's really cool to see this type of thing. This is an RPG game with focus on character interaction. If the game turns completely into an action platformer, it carries the risk of making the player feel like, why am I playing a shit knockoff of Hollow Knight? Which I think is really funny because I've seen a lot of people make Hollow Knight jokes about the platforming sections. That's fucking hilarious. But yeah, why are we playing a shit knockoff of Hollow Knight? Instead of feeling like they were playing Deltarune. In order to inject some unique character-based elements into the gameplay, the platforming act system was developed in October 2024, the platforming system was in development 3 years before they ever added the act system to it, which is kind of insane. They decided they were doing the platformer, and then 3 years later, we're like, wait a second. We gotta make it more Deltarune, and added the act system. That's crazy. A large amount of acts were considered for each character, but ultimately we found it most intuitive to just have Hanging with Rouse and Rude Buster with Susie. Another important Deltaruneism, which that's a thing to say, was adding lots of stupid optional dialogue for doing different things in the platforming mode, as well as having a couple RPG encounters accessible during that mode. This kept the mood from drifting too far from the main game. Another thing we had to keep in mind was that this could be somebody's first experience playing a platforming game. A terrifying thought, but technically possible. Nothing in the game has demanded any platforming skills before this, so we kept the actual jumping challenges rather simple. On the other hand, it was way too fun to make difficult challenges, so we tried to include a couple of those in optional areas. I hope you enjoyed them. Also, yeah, we prototyped various puzzle concepts where you had to swap between both gameplay styles, but most of them ended up a little too clunky and hard to understand. Something like this could have been sick, though. Right? This could have been fun. Besides the platforming, another general challenge was writing a chapter that introduces 8 different characters to the main story without destroying the pacing. I actually think the flowers were done so well. Because it didn't feel like it was like, oh, and here's another person, oh, and here's another person. Like, they all felt like they had relevance. And accomplishing that with so many... That wasn't a weird metaphor jingle. I think it was done really well, where it didn't feel like it was just like we were having more characters shoved in our face, and especially in such a short amount of time. I think it was actually like, he did a really good job at writing the flowers to feel like they were all important in their own ways, without ever feeling like he was shoving any of them down our throats. However, putting aside how good an idea that is in the first place, I feel like I managed to pull this off fairly well, showing off all the individual qualities of the different flowers without dragging the story down. Among my friends, everybody had a different favorite flower, and every flower was someone's favorite. So that's all I can hope for. It's well balanced. Exactly. So look at this. From 2020. It's crazy how long ago. Like, what do you mean? Some of the first concept art for this stuff was 7 years ago. Also, yeah, we've got... characters. Flowery. 10 years ago, everyone was misspelling Flowey as Flowery, and it was driving me crazy. So I thought, wouldn't it be funny if there was another Golden Flower character actually named Flowery? Then everyone can misspell his name as Flowey too. The fact that that is the driving factor for Flowery is the funniest fucking thing in the world, because the amount of, like, theory stuff surrounding Flowery, I'm like, oh my god, it's Flowey, and then it's like, no. He exists from pure spite. Is the funniest fucking thing in all of existence. I gained a new level of respect for Flowery reading this for the first time, because that's hilarious. The Golden Flower, Gold was able to become his own Mary Sue character in the form of Flowery. He's trying to be perfect, but he doesn't know anything about what it's like to really live. His interpretation of the ideal man is totally alien and over the top. He looks like a generic anime guy and is far taller than a normal human. It's probable he chose his own theme song and plays it himself somehow. which, by the way, is basically a crappy, misremembered version of only 8 seconds of the Full House theme song, and he must think this is awesome. You can think of the other flower characters in a similar fashion. Their designs may be strange, but that's because they had to decide who they wanted to be for themselves. I wonder what inspired each of their dreams. It's not really important, to be honest, but it's fun to think about. I love that. I love where he's straight up just like, I wonder what led to the creation of each of these characters. I don't know, but it's a cool thought, right? Bro, you made them. What do you mean? I love when there's details that a creator doesn't know about their own character, because it's so stupid. Because, like, what do you mean you're asking the question? You should know the answer. Hopefully none of this comes across as new information. I'm simply pointing out what was in the game. By the way, here's some concept art, which is this one. From Toko Yatabe of Studio Kara for the animation. Her early concept art for the animation determined Flowery's final outfit. This is literally, the fact that this is concept art, and that's literally just Flowery. That's crazy. He has different appearances in different situations. I like when characters have an inconsistent design like this, especially for a character like him. Maybe the inconsistency is his fault. I really like that, actually. Here's some concept art for the other flowers. Aqua. I didn't have any trouble drawing her. She's obviously inspired by Toho, which I don't... This is fine. I am... Yeah, okay. This is followed. By the way, the other day I talked to someone and they didn't know what Toho was. So I was like, bad apple? And they were like, huh, I thought that was a Hatsune Miku thing. It's not even sung by Hatsune Miku. So I didn't think that was a Hatsune Miku thing. I'm just not familiar. Why is there another one? Chat. Hi. Come here often. Shit, I clipped this back to my fucking mic. Hold on. Hold on. Fuck, it's not wanting to come off. There we go. Here we go. I don't know why there's another one so quickly. We can go full stream without hearing a single one. Make us up for last stream. I know, right? It's like, yeah, here's so many. Yeah. Ooh, jingle jingle. I know. This one, it's just 2 ads trying to sell me premium. No. I'm poor. I don't have a real job. This is my job. Jingle jingle. There's no Spotify ad. I don't know what you're talking about. Jingle jingle. I know the Deltarune music went away, but it'll come back. Just look at me, chat. Oh, jingle jingle. Oh, jingle. Okay, we're good. Right. We got Seth. The character Seth is inspired, the character Seth is inspired by the character named Seth from Illusion of Gaia. They're both purple and wear glasses, but they don't have any other similarities beyond that. I have no idea what character that is, by the way. However, that line is hilarious. They're purple and wear glasses. That's the end of the similarities. Originally, Seth's first concept had white hair and skin that was a bit more lavender in tone. But when I showed it to my friends, they said, that's just, you know, from Steven Universe. So I changed it. No. Green. Green's appearance is inspired by the art style of my friend Splendidland, who designed Hacker, Ambulance, and a couple other great guys. She didn't even know about this character until the game came out, though, which I think is hilarious as well. Orange. It's hard to express the joy of her expression in such a small sprite. Look at her! Anyway, it was important to have one of the characters be a mouse to make it absurdly obvious how distorted their idea of humanity is. I love that there's no necessary, like, inspiration for what caused orange. It was just, one of them's gotta be a mouse. Okay. Like, that feels so absurd, where it's like, yeah, there was nothing specific. One of them's gotta be a mouse. Right. Why didn't I think about that? You know, one of them has to be a mouse. Yellow. He had 2 designs, and the earlier one from October 2016, which that's fucking insane. He was more of he had more of a beard and was a cool, collected guy. Then I drew him later in January 2020. He takes some inspiration from Woody from Toy Story, Friend Inside Me. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy how early some of the designs are from. He was foreshadowed a bit in Chapter 3 with some bath curtains. I think that's kind of the full extent of the intentional cowboy foreshadowing I've done in my life. Blue. The game has a different hairstyle during his face spray. I thought it would be fun to provide multiple possibilities for what he looks like. Of course, Woody. Yeah, Friend Inside Me. Other enemy designs. I had 2 guest artists on this chapter to design enemies. No, actually designed 4 enemies for this chapter. Shinu Beetle, Terracotta, the Pot Archer, and the Mantis Dancer. Ultimately, only 2 of them were used. In chapter 5, anyway. I even know Blue was a man. Yeah, Blue's a man. No, damn. No. Think of it this way. I just accidentally opened Minecraft. Wait, hold on. There we go. Yeah, think of it this way. That means that blue and yellow, they're gay. They're gay. And that's what matters. That's sick. Exactly. Glad you get it. Also, look at these. The archer wasn't used, but that's a sick design. And then this wasn't used either. One of my favorite ships in the game. That's so real. This is cute. Hitoshi Uriga. Hitoshi Uriga is a Japanese artist who's most well known for drawing the manga Rockman Megamix and designing a number of Pokemon, including the recently beloved Sneasler, Fluttermane, and Ogerpon, which that's crazy. However, did you know he also drew the character sprites for many classic games, including Illusion of Gaia? When I was reading this for the first time, I laughed my ass off on the fact that this was referenced twice for different reasons. Anyway, he drew a bit of a fox character, and then I made some modifications to it for the game. Also, look at that! That's so cute! By the way, he and his family are immensely awesome and kind people, which, that's just sweet. Alright, we're gonna need to pause our other music real quick. Because we got some stuff to listen to here. So, I forgot how loud this is! Okay. It's really loud. I mean, just listen to that. I love it. I know, right? That's adorable. Anyways, we'll start at the top now. Garden of Hopes and Dreams. Hard to believe it. This guy was a kid when he made his first Undertale jazz album. I'm super glad to be able to feature him in the game. Carlos, ENA, I'm assuming. Rekuichi Buster. Rekuichi, who would have thought? I originally featured his music in an earlier trailer for Deltarune, but as long as we were featuring a fancy version of Field of Hopes and Dreams, I wanted to make the battle theme fancy too. Cutie Mew Mew magic. Camellia, I'm assuming. The double L makes me want to say like a Y, but that doesn't make sense. For the song, I arranged a demo of the first dozen seconds and sent that alongside a few minutes of me playing the piano and singing. I also provided a text description of each part. Camellia did all the actual work beyond that. Well, anyway, the chiptune demo I gave him was originally just the first 6 seconds of this, plus the melody, but I added some more just now to make it worth listening to. Thanks. Camellia made the, like, actual song. So, Toby Fox did the demo. But the actual song was Camellia. That's not the only one either. There's another one, Flowerman. I actually tried to create this song by myself multiple times, and even tried multiple times to collaborate with different musicians to try to do a live version with vocals, which that could have been sick, but I understand why it wasn't done. But nothing turned out right with the samples I was using, so I ended up begging Camellia to arrange it. Here's the earliest piano outline. I didn't listen to this in full. I just remember the fucking words to this. That's crazy. Yeah, this is actually, like, I didn't listen to this all the way. This is really good. We're gonna leave this playing and continue on. I think I'm in love, / Deltarune logo, Itoki Hana. I made an outline of the song, she arranged it, then I mixed it back together with my own instruments. Also for the logo, it was inspired by the Sailor Moon R eye catch. Yes, artist. Also, the creator of Fields of Mystria, that's crazy. That's a crazy pull that I wasn't expecting. Claire, drew Pink's talking sprites and basic overworld sprites for Chapter 5. She was a great friend that encouraged me immensely to complete Undertale, so I'm super happy I got to work with her. Okay, thanks! I forgot that it, ends, right after this. We can go back over here and continue going, though. What's next? Since we're back at the actual newsletter. Chapter 5 was a really fun chapter, and with that last big burst of craziness out of the way, I'm sure everyone is eager for Deltarune to start directly tackling the main mysteries of the game. Me too! Absolutely. I love Pink. Me too. I do, in fact, love Pink. Deeply, truly. Pink and Maddie are such fun characters. With Chapter 5, we completed the last of the necessary setup for Chapters 6 and 7. From Chapter 6 onward, there are no more wacky, silly adventures, and you will begin to see the results of the setup that has been made so far. See, yes, that is true. What I see people point it out all the time where they're like, but there's so much to address and there's only 2 chapters. And it's like, did you play Undertale ever where, everything only comes together in, the last hour of the game? We know Toby Fox can do it. We've seen the proof that he's capable of doing it. There's more things to address, but he's also using more time. I guess if that makes sense. Because the chapters, they're longer individually, and I think Chapter 7 is going to talk about a lot of things. But I'm excited. Chapter 6 is a shorter, straightforward chapter that focuses on one aspect of the story. This is the part that interests me. That's the thing that interests me the most. There's a lot of things to address, and we're being told straightforward, Chapter 6 is only going to address one. If I had to pick a thing, yeah, one. This says a couple things to me, especially with the fact that he's explicitly saying it is a shorter chapter. I think that means that Chapter 7 is going to be long. That's my idea. Chapter 7 is going to be long. Susie getting too attached to the dark world. See, I don't even know that we're going to see the... That might be kind of like an undertone, but I don't think that's going to be it. I think that's going to be one of the really big focuses of Chapter 7. Obviously, a lot of things has to be a big focus of Chapter 7, but a lot of theories sort of, are working with the idea something to do with having to close Castletown, potentially. And all of that. It very well could end up that part of the issue is Susie getting too attached to the Dark World. I think what we're gonna focus on in Chapter 6, to really, like, create a... Because you can see it here at the bottom of the screen, Chapter 6 would be released by itself. So we do know that for sure. Like, 100% know that for sure Chapter 6 is releasing on its own. Which I had already guessed. If I had to throw out a guess, I'm going to assume what would create a good cliffhanger, a good hook, all of that, is that we're opening the bunker. We're not going to go in, but we're going to open the bunker. And I think that's going to be our focus. Truly. Is that we're focusing on opening the bunker. Especially because Susie's wanting to get Noelle involved. Noelle directly has influence to one of the codes. We have a code. I think Chapter 6 is going to focus on getting the bunker open. As much as I want to be like, oh, it's the night, it's this, it's that, I think it's getting the bunker open. But I think... It could be the night, though. I don't know, because we see, because of that, many things are still not touched on here. In fact, it may surprise you what was missing. But one thing will be clarified whether you're ready or not. So it could be the night? I don't know. Another thing, a theory that I saw recently, another thing it could be, is that the roaring has already started. That's why the internet's cut off and stuff like that. Like, the roaring is actively here. Everyone else is already dead. Some of you may say, wait, we need to make the chapters longer, not shorter. That's an extremely reasonable concern. But by the end of Chapter 7, I'm 100% sure you'll understand why I feel confident about the way I'm telling this story. Don't worry about the pacing until it's over. This feels like such an important thing that so many people need to be told. So many people need to, like, hear this, have this shoved in their face. Because so many people are like, but the pacing, the X, Y, Z. It's like, the game's not over yet, guys. Calm down. I believe we will be able to release Chapter 6 in 2027. Which leads me back to my theory of we're getting Deltarune next summer. And then if it's not the summer after, I wholeheartedly believe that Chapter 7 either releases in summer again, or Chapter 7 releases on Christmas. 100%, that's my belief. Recently, I finished writing a few more sequences towards the last third of Chapter 6 and rearranging the rooms to fit the new structure. Once we make these adjustments and tie everything together, we will be able to play a rough draft of the chapter from beginning to end, barring any major reconstructing. The main things that will continue to need development time are the boss of the chapter and polishing cutscenes. I'm thinking Christmas release would be cruel. That's part of why I think it'll happen. I'm being so dead ass. We have Christmas, we have deaths, all shoved in our face. 100% of the time, constantly. We are told not to save her, but to find her. If Chapter 7, which very well could involve a revelation about deaths, which it would be so fucking cruel if the thing that we focus on in Chapter 6, the thing that's clarified whether we want it to or not, has to do with deaths. That's awful. However, if she is not the revelation that we are intended to have in Chapter 6, if Chapter 7, when we finally, as we've been told to do, find December holiday, and it's released on fucking Christmas... What is better storytelling? What is better storytelling than using the real world to your advantage? Also, speculation? Theories? People would die? Oh, yeah. Personally, I don't really read or watch theories. That's because I already know what my game is. However, oh, this is what I was talking about. And all of the... like... how he directly references the weight and all of that. However, I think it's amazing that people think about the game so much. It's not an exaggeration to say thinking about this game can be just as much of the experience as playing it is. That's why I say that the experience that we're having now is a very important piece of the puzzle, I think. And getting to theorize and all of that. Anyone who keeps thinking about it, like I have, gets my highest blessing. So, imagining what could happen and trying to think about the meaning of the game is very cool. However, I do think it's important to mention sometimes you don't have all the information, or I had a different expectation about how certain info would be interpreted or combined. Fair enough. Fair enough. You know, ignore the fact that my sense of direction is awful. Ignore that down there, okay? We're still up here. Fair enough. I think there's a lot of things that can be put together and a lot of theories that you can create out of what exists, especially if you decide to kind of ignore certain things. It's like how I have my Death is the Soul theory, which I openly admit, that would be fucking insane if it's true. I don't know that it makes any actual, real, logical sense. But can you imagine if I sniped that off of little details, like the Soul plays guitar, but Chris doesn't, and the only one we know who plays guitar is Des. As much as I don't think it's real, can you imagine if that is the leading reason as to why I sniped that idea? And I think having fun theories where you admit that it's probably not true, and it's out there and all of that is really important and really cool, but you have to be able to admit that it's insane. Anyway, while I think it's good to keep an open mind as to what will ultimately happen, I want to say that you guys should keep having as much fun as you can. The speculative art, stories, and theories that you come up with while the game is still ongoing will forever be special, because this is the only time such things can ever be created. That would make the weird route even more devastating. You're damn fucking right it would. And I am a weird route truther. I love the storytelling of that route so much. Now that I think about it, see? You see what I'm saying? Dude, genuinely, that is, I'm being so do I think that it's necessarily the answer? No. I've also been talking about this series since chapters 3 and 4 came out. Which, it started as, I feel like the Soul, the things that we know about the Soul specifically, and the things that we know about Des feel oddly similar. I still think she's the Knight. I don't disagree, but I also really hope that she isn't. Or I hope that there's more to it than just, oh, Des is the Knight. If it's something like Des is the Soul and the Knight, and she got fucking split in two somehow, that would be sick. However, if it's just Des is the Knight, I don't like it. I think there has to be more to it, to Des is the Knight, to make it interesting, because Des being the Knight has, like, just been the theory. Like, that is the theory. I think it'd be fucking hilarious if it's not a holiday at all, because everyone thinks it's a holiday. I think Weird Route Amalgam Theory is pretty cool. I do think that Des being the Knight is the most probable answer, but I also think there's a lot of ways that it doesn't make sense. Especially because we do know that, so Des is missing, but the Knight exists in...
Organiza una jam con tus amigos y comparte tus canciones favoritas con todo el grupo, sin pausas publicitarias. También puedes reproducir.
Hold on. Des in the bunker? Des is in the bunker. There's no fucking way she isn't. I don't know. I feel like there's certain details about the night that makes it not make sense to be Des. I do know that my first impression playing chapter 4 is, oh, so it's Carol. Was kind of my thought at the time. Carol's working with the night, absolutely. Just like Chris is, if she isn't. Which makes me question how many people are working with the night. But that's a whole nother can of worms. But yeah, no, I was like, huh, there's a lot of little things between Des and the soul. And then I saw someone mention, like, human Des theory. And needless to say, that very quickly turned into Des is the soul for me. So, I'm just saying, if our mission has been find her and we were her the whole time, that's sick as fuck. Anyways. All of you are creating a time capsule unique to the single fleeting moment in time. And I think that's something to be incredibly proud of. Isn't it great that you're here right now playing this thing as it comes out? Absolutely. What's Girona? When I was younger, my older sibling would say stupid anime-style made-up move names and then pretend to attack me. One was, "It's my Girona." A couple other phrases are also references like that, including the unused voice clip, "Blingo Blizzard." My sibling encouraged me to add, "It's my hummingbird," as another quote to the game, but I haven't done that yet. Will I ever? I love that Girona is just a personal thing that he threw in there. I think that's excellent. What's Kiki? Kiki is my cat that won't shut up. She gets incredibly noisy every second you don't play with her. She watched her room on TV and didn't understand it was her. She's like if a cat's brain was put into a cat's body. The song in the room is the song that I sing to her every day because I love her. It's not fan service for you, but it's a Kiki service for her, even though she doesn't like it. She's bothering me right now. I love that weird-ass room has no other relevance other than, I love my cat. That is adorable. I love that. Just like, why does this exist? Because I love my cat. That's so cute. It's been an hour? I see that, yeah. I don't see what that has. Deltarune, when we're done with the newsletter, so in a minute. Fangamer merch! More items are planned. By the way, I told Fangamer not to expect to make too much merchandise for Chapter 6 and 7. Why is that? Anyways. Anything else? I desire and enjoy the corn. Happy summer, and enjoy the corn. You heard it here first, folks. Enjoy the corn. I did flat out say that our, like, introduction section was going to be time consuming today. It was gonna take a while. Because we were experiencing the newsletter. Now, let me get the game open now, though. We can get started. There we are. This was fun. I know, right? I wanted to go over the newsletter. I'm just getting the game open and then we'll switch over to that. Oh, right. We're still in Hometown right now. Hold on. There we go. Now it's game time. We just had to get here first, folks. It's okay. You'll also see that we immediately need to go into the Dark World. So, do that in just a second. Let me pull up the list on my phone. Well, the guide on my phone. Should be this one. We're gonna aim for doing at least 2 sections. It depends on how fast we get through them. We've got ice cream. We should be able to just go to the lake, right? I think we can just go to the lake. Yep. Okay, we're just gonna skip through this cutscene. We don't really need anything out of this. I love all of the sprites involved in this, though. We're gonna have to do an aborted weird route save for this chapter. But yeah, we've gone over Deltarune related news in the past. We looked at the chapter 5 announcement. We looked at all kinds of shit. So, obviously we're gonna look at the newsletter. Hi. My cat is staring at me. Also, the difference, I think, between the fact that Noelle doesn't technically touch the water in the normal route versus what happens in the weird route is crazy work. I've gotta say. Hey. Homos. I love all of the sprites and animations that Noelle gets this chapter, though. But I also she is my favorite character. I won't pretend otherwise. I love Noelle. This bastard. Eating all of my ice cream. Oh boy, fountain sounds. Chris, this isn't very nice of you. The fucking animation that we get of Chris. Dude. Sick as fuck. Genuinely, the animation of them putting the soul back in while falling into the dark world might be, like, my favorite animation in the game. Because that's sick as fuck. They do not need to do all that. It's so fluid. It's so cool looking, too, dude. It just looks so good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't care. Chris, you bastard, going in the back door and opening the fountain. God, it's such a cool animation. That dude. Thick as fuck. Alright, don't care. We've got places to be. Ralsei's to see. This shit. No, one of the stores in the background says flowery. Sorry to keep a lady waiting. It's my Girona. Sorry to keep you waiting. This bastard. This bastard.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Thrown like a turnip. My king.
My king. I'll have you fully know, chat, that I do his like, this is such a, like, random... It's my Girona. Mysterious wind. Here I come, San Francisco. It's just part of my vocabulary now.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
It's me, Flowery. Flowery. My king. Your dad's my best friend.
Your dad's my best friend.
No. Sorry to keep a lady waiting.
This bastard.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
I'd like to point out that both of the newsletters referencing Chapter 5 both have the tagline, sorry to keep you waiting. I just feel like we all need to know that.
Mysterious wind.
Mysterious wind.
Flowers blooms in your heart.
Flowers blooms in your heart. It's my Girona. It's too big to wear. You don't need points. It's a wardrobe of unnecessary things. Seems to contain half of a photograph. You don't need to look at this. These flowery vocal stems. Sorry to keep a lady waiting. It's my Girona. I can't help it, man. Here I come, San Francisco. Mysterious wind. I'm sorry. You can't tell me that basically every flowery, like, voice line does not make a good vocal stem. Toby Fox made a fucking John vocal stem. I don't know what to tell you. Also, that half of a photograph, that has something to do with Chris's family, there's no doubt. It's Rousey! I love that Rousey is pissed for the whole chapter. No thanks. I'm fine with that one. Okay. Anyway, we have Rousey hats now. That's it. That was one of our things. Okay, let's shut this. Close window. I don't need the fucking thing open anymore. 5 section. We're on section 5. I'm on the... Oh my god, dude. I love Flowery. He's just a silly guy. I'm opening the, oh my god. Dad's my best friend. Chapter 5, Section 5, more hats. Also, now we need to die. Like, the first fight that we get into, we need to die.
My favorite too. Flowery.
I love...
Hey there, little guy.
Hey there, little guy. I love that Rase fucking hates this guy. It's so funny.
You're dead. Sorry about that, little guy. Flowery.
And... yeah, we're not turning off voice clips. I love this song, dude. Old power returns to you. Dude. Alright. We need to die in this fight. No, don't spare. We're just gonna block until we die. Like, I'm just being so for real. We literally just need to die. That's it. That's our whole goal right now. So there is the implication, it only happens on your very first playthrough, but your very first save file, you do overwrite Chris's save. So, and also there are like the theories that, like Des was in Dark Worlds even before. So like if Des is the soul, it would be an old power. But this is another coming of the prophecy, right? And that Des was part of it originally. So there's a lot of reasons to explain. Anyways, yeah. Where are we?
The diner.
Ah, you've come too.
Mysterious wind.
I found you, unconscious, washed up on the beach.
Sorry to keep a lady in waiting.
And carried you here, gently, like princesses. Listen, you three. I won't always be there to take care of you. Please, stay out of trouble, okay?
You're a hero?
Sometimes you need to leave the battle to be the real heroes.
Sorry about that, guys.
By the way, don't
Sorry
worry.
about the guy.
I'm a gentleman, so I only did CPRs on your cheek. That wouldn't do anything! Let's just go! God, he's pissed, dude, and it's so funny. First 4. Rousey just doesn't get it. Yeah, Rousey's just not chill like us. Wait. I'm sorry. That's the red ribbon right there. Okay, awesome. Also, Susie wears ribbons now. First room with the mushrooms. Leave me alone. Actually, no, we need to get all the recruits, right? So, let's actually do this fight now. Oh. Wait, don't do that! This is a soul inside Chris? Oh yeah, Flowery told me! Oh yeah, I already know. Flowery told me. We're just in chapter 6. Rase starts, it's just like, actually, the roaring has already started. Hometown is all that's left. Oh yeah, I know. Flowery told me. I love the Flowery rage bait. Oh yeah, Dessa's fucking dead and possessing my friend. Oh yeah, Flowery told me. That'd be the funniest thing in the fucking world, dude. Flowers over boys. You know what? Hell yeah. Wait, what? Oh yeah, Scythemare. I forgot about that. Right. Take a bite. Bite it. Congratulations! You gave me 1 mushroom. Now, confidently... Give me 2 mushrooms, right? Right. What does Flowery know? I know, right? What does Flowery know? I kind of like the implication that Flowery knows, like, I didn't grab him fast enough. And just, like, an absurd amount of information. Got him! Let's get. Okay, we just kind of got to keep going. Which, there's nothing for us here yet. Whoops. Show love. You encourage everyone to show love by flirting. We're after your dad. Oh, that's not nice. Susie's idea. My favorite Togor theory is that Togor is Chris's dead name. And then they let, the holidays rename them, so their name is actually fully Christmas. Where did that even start from? The whole Togor thing? So Togor is it's because Asriel's name is literally just like a Asgore Toriel's ship name. So the alternate of it is Togor. That's it. That's how it started. It's because Asriel is a ship name for Asgore and Toriel. Which is better than the alternative, Togor.
Yes.
He is now.
Here I come, San Francisco.
Here I come, San Francisco! It's my Girona. Or according to plan, Sustingus.
Your dad's my best friend.
See ya.
Hey, got grown like that.
To be fair, I am just repeating what he's actively saying. Sorry, don't mind me. Don't mind me. Yeah, I'd say that's enough for now. We'll get more. Forgot they're fake. Oh no. I mean, they're not. Flowery dollars are used. But yeah. Go down and make a path. It's just another. Ow. I think it's hilarious because it's so stupid. I love stupid bits. What can I say? Green tea. Make a path. Left. Alright. Pink coin 1. Deltarune is so full of, like, just random stupid bits that I'm never surprised anymore. Gross. You wanted my giant tail. Now I need to switch it around to dry it. Whoa. Destroys buildings because it's so big. You guys! Him. That's crazy. Right, I forgot that they'll do that. They'll just eat the watering can. I think we gotta keep backtracking. Okay. Nightmare. Wait, can I water them? Backtracking, holding wait, what? Whoa, it's raining. Raining in this one spot. Totally opposite of backtracking to talk to someone while holding an umbrella. Okay. Way to rain on my parade. I love it. Awesome, dude. I love that for you. Huh. I no longer recognize myself in this shape. No more empathy for me. And I love that for you, dude. I developed. He developed. What? He developed? He developed. Go back to the room where Flowery helped you and continue this as your puzzle. Okay. Good for him. I know, right? Good for him. Okay. Ouch. Right, this. Clip, clip. She's totally absorbed in her work. Leave her. Actually, I want to tell her it looks amazing. You really think so, Chris? Well, I suppose I can't help being a cute subject. Big head. Riveting. Man, I think they did. Oh, yeah, kind of. Dude, this fucking minigame. Great job! I try. Oh, fuck, dude. What the fuck? Why did they hit so hard? And yeah, how did that get 50? What drugs are these guys on for that to be 50? I'm fucking sorry! Masterpiece. 58! My brother in Christ. Glad that that's over. We need to go this way. We're just gonna water everything, see what happens. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Guys, it's his Girona. Isn't that crazy?
Hey guys.
Girona.
My favorite.
And this is what, the Thatcher? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. I knew she had the Justice Axe. I just... Okay.
Flowery.
Flowery. Alright! There we go. Petal chest. Alright, we just have to get to the diner, which is right here.
A great start. Suckle it up.
Suckle it up. Riveting. Yeah, it's what, these two? Sure, one of each. Okay. Go through the first. Make sure to break the leaf pile on the bottom of the path. Then go downstairs, go left. Chest with a Netsky. Okay. Okay, one more time. Okay. Then go up the stairs. Upstairs, go right. Revivement! There we go. Riveting. I just need to lock in. I wasn't locked in. My fault. Da, 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 ba, da, ba, da, ba, 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 bum. Ralphie, you can't do that! Sorry, this isn't a lake, we're okay. Yeah, Flowery told me. You know what? Wait, what? Oh, this, right. Here we go. Oh, a puzzle! We don't need to spend time doing this, right, Chris? On my original playthrough, I did turn off Rousey's voice line. Oh, so, yeah. There we go. He does it for you. The puzzle is solvable. Oh, yeah. Flowery told me. Oh, that stuff? Yeah, I know about that. You do? How? Flowery told me. He told you?
They're eating my flesh. Leave
I-
it to me.
I forgot that's one of his voice lines. They're eating my flesh. Okay, buddy. Oh, yeah. Flowery told me. Anyway, we gotta go do some laps. We like doing laps, right, chat? Nice lap. Yeah, we're gonna do another one. I know, he's so happy about it, too. They're eating my flesh. I think we should be alarmed. Oh, Chris really wants walkies today. Chris dog allegations. Just can't get away from him. Chris cannot beat the dog allegations. Okay, let's not get your bone density too high. I don't know. They could always be denser. Exactly. Chris is not beating the dog allegations. It's just not happening. Maybe I should stop saying things? No, he caught on. Alright. We did laps! Look at that. Mysterious wind.
Dingus.
Thanks, Flowery.
Hey, guys. Goodbye.
Treat the exit to light world. Right, okay. Yeah, we're not. We ain't doing that. Can't get that yet. There we go. Keep going. We've got a watering can to locate. Not there. There it is. Alright. Green tea. Not here. I don't know. Ah. This is where we need to be. I was literally about to say that I don't know where exactly I need to be, but we need to be right here. There we go. There we go. The theories about this fight were crazy. What? Real quick. Since this will go to my editor, since this will go to my editor eventually. Plink, look at me. Look at me, Plink. You see that chat up there? The one about Flowery being Jesus? Can you full screen that for a second for me? What the fuck? Real quick, thank you, Plink. Sorry, I just need to make sure that everybody sees that. Is the world revolving? Jevil reference, but at what cost? Is the world revolving like they say? Jevil reference? You showed tender loving care. The enemy laughed. I knew that. Sure you did. Sure you did, Aqua. We all believe you. Cool, boss. I don't want to talk about that, chat. I don't want to talk about what happened just now. Okay. This is a crazy conversation. Apparently I can't handle Aqua's fight today. Flowery is Jesus and who is the devil? The knight is the devil and Asgore is God. Plink, you already know what to do. Just real quick. If you don't mind. Is it? It's not a muse. Okay. I see. Guys, I don't know what's happening right now. I gotta be so for real. I'm finally locking in though. I lied. I'm locked the fuck out. Okay. Right, I can't copy this Aqua, I'm afraid. Yeah, I can't do magic. No. Thanks, Aqua. That took longer than it should have. Dude, you remember the theories about what this is? The, like, white pen of hope or whatever? Yeah. I just feel the need to throw that out there. The other flowers are the disciples? Oh my god, why is this? Why are we diving so far into this? Damn, Chris got ups. Fresh from the juice. You know... from here... Jumps to slashes. We've got new stats. Pincoin 2 and pacifism. Fire Jesus Theory canon? No. Petal Feather getting... Okay. We have to go. We have to backtrack real quick. Just kidding. I already messed up. So I may have messed up a little bit, but it's okay. We'll be able to backtrack later. Okay, if I just fall though, that's not gonna get me anywhere. Yeah, okay. We can't get the coin right this second. Because I didn't get it. Because I went forward instead of grabbing it. It's fine. Alright, are you excited, chat? We're not gonna attack it. We're waiting it out. It's okay to attack. No, I can't do it. Though, I suppose the pattern will eventually stop? Yeah. I can't attack it. I'm sorry, Ralph. I'm a pacifist. It'll take forever. Minute and a half. Three times British there. Rouse is as British as what comes out of my mouth in the moment I'm reading his lines. I don't know what to tell you. I never said I was good at accents, okay? I just said that I was doing them. See? Pacifism. I wasn't talking to you, Siri. What the fuck? Okay. We'll be able to get the pink coin we missed in a second. Awesome gameplay. I know, right? I do try. Anyways, we need to go back this way. We need to go back to the shrine. But yeah, I do my best to provide truly riveting gameplay, I must say. I'm glad you guys can appreciate it. Alright, I need to go over here. Over here and up. Go back to the shrine. I try really hard to make things entertaining for you guys, obviously, as you can tell, because, what was that if not peak entertainment? Jump off screen to the right. Okay. There we go. Got the pink coin. Thank you, Rouse. Also, like, you can have him be there. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, awesome riveting gameplay, I know. I am, in fact, the best streamer on the platform. I know, I've got jokes. Alright. That is gonna be where we're leaving this off today, though. Which... just means that this is gonna take longer. Blame the fucking newsletter. Blame the newsletter. It took up half of our time. It was fun. I liked going through the newsletter. That was a good time. But it did take up a lot of time. The supposed 3 streams. Who knows? Maybe the next stream of this next week will just be really long. Did you consider that? Did you consider that I'm just gonna do like a really long stream? I wasn't anticipating the newsletter fully. Like, I just fully didn't, I was not prepared for the newsletter to exist. Oops. I didn't interpret the sign from God that was the newsletter coming. My apologies. Tricky Tony, that bastard. Sabotaging me specifically. As if. But no, that was worth it. That was fine. It was fun to go through it. I did read it last night, but... You know, I also, from Flowery. Right. Flowery, our true Lord and Savior. I don't even know what to do with that information. Oh. But, a lot of fun. We are going to be playing Zelda tomorrow for the next 2 days. As the schedule does dictate, I will actually be following that, and then we'll be back doing Deltarune next week. The only thing that I seem to just ignore on the schedule for the most part is Subnautica. Just like, I'm supposed to play Subnautica, but am I going to? Hey, you're getting there. You're getting close. That's exciting. That's exciting. We're almost there. That would mean 2 people with it. Riveting concept, I must say. No, I do think that's a really cool thing, to have anyone having that role, having hung out long enough to be able to get that. Pretty cool. Just know, if you're ever like, hey, does Streamer Man know that I exist? I do think that having regulars, even if it's not a lot of people, but having people that show up consistently, because I have, what, 4 or 5 people who come into stream, like, regularly? That's, like, the coolest thing in the world. I recognize you guys by username. I've had, he doesn't come in very much anymore, but I had a guy change his username and come in, and I knew it was the same person based on the way they talk. So I do recognize you guys, like, truly. I couldn't tell you when you started showing up, but I know that you're here, and I know who you are. And I think that's what matters. I recognize and appreciate you guys. Truly. Because I think the fact that anyone is watching some random dude play video games. I know, streamer knows you exist. I'm so sorry. I do perceive you. I apologize. I do think that people choosing to come and sit and hang out with me while I play video games is like the most absurd thing in the world. It's also really cool. It's a really cool opportunity to have. Oh, I will throw this out here, because just, not even as a, like, go buy my book, but as, like, a really cool thing. For anyone who doesn't know, I have self-published 2 different books, poetry collections on Amazon. There is, in fact, a commanding chat, I think it's just !book, to check that out. And as of yesterday, I've been a published author for a year, and that's pretty cool. So it's not even just a, like, go buy my stuff. In fact, I don't even have a bank account right now that Amazon will send the money to, so I can't even get the money from it right now. Because Amazon, like, removed a bunch of the bank accounts that they would send money to, including mine. So, I can't even receive the money. It's just, like, a cool fact of, like, yeah, this has been a thing for a year now, and that's really cool. Come, October, on Halloween, which I think is also really cool, we also will have been monetized on here for a year. And that's also really cool, that people have shown up enough for that to happen. You know, before everyone was able to get certain fruit. You know, before Twitch changed it so everyone can use certain things and everyone can technically receive subs and all of that. We earned that. We earned that on Halloween last year. It's pretty cool. So. What is it? Another, what, like 20 pounds of watermelon? I had watermelon last night. Look, I may say it's absurd, However, I understand you. I get it, okay? Look, it may be crazy, but I understand. But really, I do it every so often where I go on a larger tangent about how I appreciate you guys coming here and how this is so cool and awesome and an awesome opportunity, because it really is. It really is. It really is. I have thought that content creation was the coolest thing in the world since the second I started doing it, and my first ever YouTube video got 40 views, which is fucking, that's nothing. That is nothing as far as views go. I still don't get very many views on YouTube, but that's nothing. But it was still that I made something and people watched it. And, you know, I continue to make things and people continue to come and hang out and experience it. And that's something that not everyone can say. Not everyone can say that there's... For a first video, 40 is not even that bad. No, I was actually really impressed. I was expecting no one to fucking look at it. And I look back on it and it's the most garbage video in the world. How it had... it might even have more now. But how it had 40 views at the time is fucking... beyond me. I don't even know. One of my highest viewed videos on the main channel, I'm sick the entire duration of the video. Like, it's absurd. That my YouTube content, especially the stuff that I make personally and isn't done by my editor, my YouTube content is generally not very high effort, just because I'm not very good at editing and I don't really know what I'm doing. So, it's not the best content. But the fact that people still watch it and that I've gotten over 100 views on stuff that I've made is insane. It's absurd. And there's never gonna be a world where it's not utterly fucking insane to me. But what's important, chat, is that you know that I appreciate you. I appreciate anyone who stops by, says anything, chat, all that good stuff. But we've hit the 2-hour mark. If you'll notice, I have been making an effort to have our streams be an hour and a half to 2 hours, somewhere in there at a minimum. We're gonna run into times where that's gonna be longer, especially if I do like a challenge stream, some kind of anniversary stream, like anything special. Those are obviously gonna be longer. You know, Deltarune release, the videos were longer. 24-hour stream 1. So, unironically, when we get to next year, there will be one. I'm being, like, for real, like, we'll sleep on stream. I probably won't have my camera pointed at me because that feels a little weird, but something will, like, play while I'm sleeping. But, like, I'm genuinely being so dead ass. There is going to be a 24-hour stream next year. Because I started the bit this year for the 1-year anniversary stream, where it was 1 hour of stream for every month I've been streaming. Right now, it is 1 p.m. So I go live my time at 11 a.m. And with, like, there would be a lot of prep involved in it. I know, I have a lot of my viewers are not, like, close to me region-wise. It's a strange little phenomenon. I don't really know why that's the case, but it is the case. What ad? I don't know what you're talking about. There's no ad. Oh, yeah, no, it's a really crazy thing. But the idea is that I would be live, like, actively doing things probably for a minimum of 12 hours before sleeping, and then waking up in time to do another thing before having to end the stream. And it would be at least 24 hours. But yeah, so next year's anniversary stream is fully going to be 24 hours. That is a 24-hour stream, and that's already planned. And that is only going to grow. So then the next one will be 36 hours. Like, that's because I think it's such a stupid bit. I think it's a stupid bit that can be worked out relatively easily. When the stream happened, dude, that stream is going, I'm gonna be so tired. I'm gonna be so for real. We're gonna have the 24-hour stream, and then the stream the day after will probably be canceled. And then I will just sleep. I mean, obviously, 24-hour stream, so the day the stream ends, there won't be another stream, and then probably the day after that will then not have a stream as well. And I won't blame you for that, exactly. That's one of those things where it's like, you know what? Fair enough. Yeah, no, I have a lot of 48-hour one. We'll get there. We will get there. Someday, when we get bigger, I don't want to do it now because I feel like it would feel really weird. But when I get to a point where I consistently have people subscribing to the channel, I do also want to do a subathon at some point. So there's a lot of room for me to do like absurdly long streams, challenge streams, etc., just because I want to, because I think it's fun. I want to work out more challenge streams and more opportunities for long streams. What I want to do is I want to plan a bunch of them and work it out, and then we'll do at least a challenge stream every month is what I want to do. I don't know how long it will take for me to have enough of a backlog of challenge streams to do that. Well, to start that, because I want to have a bunch of them planned, so if I don't come up with more ideas, it's not like the end of the world, because I already have the ideas existing. Actual blue screen when that happens? Hey man, when I start making money, like actual money from this, there will be a lot of things going on. Someday we'll have... I'll probably get a green screen and not a blue screen, because I do wear a lot of, like, blue things. This is just what I had on hand. LA Mansion when? I will probably never live in an LA Mansion. I would go live in LA. I do love California. I'm from California. I just don't live in California right now. So me living in LA is not out of the question. I do want to go live in the San Diego area. That sort of region. I don't mind people knowing, like, what city I'm in, you know? Especially if it's, like, a city. Now, if it's, like, yeah, I live in this tiny, small, itty-bitty village with 3 people in it. Obviously, I'm not gonna say where I live. But if I'm living in or next to a city, and I'm like, yeah, San Diego. Yeah, that doesn't really matter, because, you know, the odds of you hunting down where I live exactly with just that information are a lot slimmer than a small area. So... I don't really mind that kind of information being public. I do currently live in Mexico. That is also public information. But I'm from California. And I do want to go back. There's just a lot involved in that because I have a few animals. Like this thing. And transporting animals cross-country is hard. I don't have the money for that. Dreamhouse. Lind, Loki. Honestly, so I have severe eczema, like, diagnosed, which just means my skin is, like, absurdly sensitive to, like, everything ever. And that unfortunately includes the woods. So as much as, because I was born in Oregon, lived there for many years. So, I love the woods and the forest, all of that. It's awesome. Great. Great place, but it's so bad for my skin. I do, in fact, just want to go live, like, on a beach or a desert. Meow? Meow? So, as much as I love forests and all of that, I'm better suited for dry climates, because if I'm too damp, it's all bad. And, chat, I currently live in a rainforest, so... pray for me. But... yeah, I wanna... someday, hopefully in the not too far distant future, you'll hear me saying, hey, chatters, stream is cancelled for a minute because I'm moving, and that move will be back to the US, and it'll be a joyous occasion. But there's a lot of things that I want to make content on that will be involved. A lot of it involves money. I want to do vlogs, like real life vlogs to some extent. I'll make another like YouTube channel for that, and that'll be its own thing. Because I'm in Mexico, because my family moved to Mexico when I was 17, so I didn't have a choice. And between me and my animals, that move costs thousands of dollars. But yeah, my family moved before I was legally an adult, so I didn't have a choice in the matter. I'm 20 now! Moving to another country is a wild concept to me. I've lived in 3 US states across that country. And 2 different countries. I have moved a lot in my 20 years of life. Never do I intend to move countries ever again. I intend to go back to the United States West Coast and then stay there. Permanently. Yeah, no, it's definitely a wild concept. It was a wild concept at the time. It's still a wild concept. It's not normal behavior. But alas, it's my reality. So, but yeah, I'm gonna move countries again, but that's just me going home. But all right, we're 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes, 2 hours, almost 13 minutes in. So we're gonna call it here. I do want to say a quick thank you to anyone who stopped by, saying anything in chat, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys. Talking about the newsletter was fun. Game was fun. We will be back at Deltarune specifically next week, but we will be live tomorrow playing Zelda. So, if you want to see some of that, because I do play other things, I swear. If you want to see some of that, make sure to be here at the same time as usual. But hey, at the end of the day, all that really matters is that I will be seeing you next time.